welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl, and today we're going to investigate the Big Rip. Tell you about the man who tried to hang himself with a rope. Ask if William Shakespeare actually authored his celebrated works and critique the 1972 horror film Asylum, starring Peter Cushing and Barry Morse, and cover other intriguing segments, time, of course, permitting. But first, the Big Rip. Now, 14 to 20 billion years ago, the Big Bang occurred, which created our universe. And ever since, our universe, our cosmos, has been expanding outward in all directions in a basically symmetric fashion, also known as an isotropic fashion. What is fueling this? Well, one hypothesis is that mysterious dark energy is actually causing the galaxies to move one from another, a repulsive force that's not yet been seen or identified, but appears to be triggering or fueling this outward expansion that should continue eternally. Ultimately, when we look in the night sky, we should see no other stars because they've all moved away. However, three physicists recently made a discovery that that so-called dark energy is actually increasing, not only causing the universe to expand at a more rapid rate, but they're hypothesizing that part of that energy, what they're calling phantom energy, will trigger a big rip, where it will act asymmetrically and start ripping to pieces galaxies, stars, planets, moons, even the very atoms that constitute all matter in the cosmos. An absolute universal catastrophe looming in the future. Now, the timetable for that is about 22 billion years from now. However, because their measurements can be changed and also change that date, it could actually be sooner or later or not at all. And of course, it would be absolutely devastating. Can we prevent this? Well, not right now, but perhaps alien scientists on other worlds already have identified the problem of the Big Rip and are making plans to try to subvert it. Hopefully, astrophysicists on Earth of tomorrow will work in concert with those ETs to prevent the Big Rip, indeed, if it is in our cosmic destiny. Now, you ask what type of ETs would be able to fight such a force as a Big Rip? Well, let's take a look at one example right now in the 1954 sci-fi flick Devil Girl from Mars, starring Patricia Laffin as Naya. Roll tape.
Jimmy. No doubt you're having a council of war. It amuses me to watch your puny efforts.
The wise man always seeks to discover the truth. Even his means of doing so are limited.
It would take you 1,000 years to learn a fragment of what we have achieved.
Perhaps not, if I had you for my teacher.
What do you mean?
As a scientist, I can only believe the evidence of my own senses. So far, the only thing I know about you is that you can kill. That is also a human accomplishment. You say your spaceship is very powerful. We also have powerful machines.
None to equal those of Mars.
Indeed.
You say you believe the evidence of your senses. Very well, then you shall see. Perhaps then you will realize your helplessness. Come.
Quite cool. Yet 2 hours ago it was quite hot.
Only the outside. That was caused by the friction as we entered the atmosphere of the Earth at over 6,000 Atlantics. The interior is insulated against heat or cold.
But how did the outside cool so quickly?
You have no wisdom. The entire structure of the nuclear ship is made of a new organic metal. Therefore, each molecular cell can absorb its own amount of heat or cold. It could have absorbed all the heat in a matter of seconds. Fill your eyes, Earthman. See such powers as you never dreamed existed. Now, look again. The evidence of your own eyes, Professor. Can you still see? There is enough power there to drive a ship anywhere in the universe. Enough power to obliterate this speck of matter you call Earth.
What is the power?
Something you scientists have not yet dreamed of. A form of nuclear fission on a static negative condensity.
A negative condensity?
Exactly. Your atomic bomb is positive, causing the explosion to expand upwards and evaporate. Our force is negative and explodes the atomic forces into each other, thereby magnifying the power 1,000-fold.
And the fuel?
Self-propagating. The accessory action of each drive expands, and it causes the same motion to happen again and again. It is what you call perpetual motion.
Perpetual motion? Impossible.
You talk like a primitive savage. Because your science has not discovered these things does not mean they're impossible. Even inventions as radio and television you would have considered impossible 100 years ago. But enough. Now we shall return to the others.
Oh my God, no!
Right.
You fools. Do you think you can hurt me with this? Even your limited intelligence will convince you by now that you cannot harm me. Perhaps your scientists will help to convince you. Now you must cease your stupid tricks, or I will destroy the child.
Child, you can't have... Oh, dear.
The child is safe, so far. You have seen some of my power. Perhaps this will help to show the others.
You devil, if you harm that child.
Look, she's going all bloody.
It can't be.
You still doubt? The sound of the memory of the fourth dimension is simple.
Did you see that? Do you believe that? She vanished into the fourth dimension. Into the fourth dimension. Yes, that's the type of scientist who might be able to avert the big rip, if indeed it is in our cosmic destiny. Yes, now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes.